I think we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to kind of a different night. We're going to do Bob's dating advice for women, and let's go fire this up. Are we live? Yeah, I think we're live. Yeah, there we are. Anyway, I was going to game tonight, but got off work late, and I was trolling the internet, and I saw this gem, and I felt that I just needed to share it with you. So let's go on a magical journey of knowledge and wisdom together. And I hope you guys enjoy the show. So, first off, I know there's a lot of stuff out there where women are talking about how come if you can't find a good man and blah, 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 right? So I don't know who this lady is. I just saw it on X when I was just trolling around saying naughty things earlier. So I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and assume that she is probably actually a nice girl and she's trying to find a decent guy who will treat her like a lady and you know, and the happily ever after and the whole bit. Okay. I'm going to assume that she's not just an OnlyFans girl or something like that. We're going to give her the benefit of the doubt. But she posted this video, and we're gonna go watch it. So first off, the video is largely just, you know, why won't the guy kiss me, you know, and make the first move, right? So let's just get the basics here first. That modern society has taught good men to be cautious about women until they prove themselves, and a lot of women just aren't worth the effort or the risk or the aggravation. So you know, good women understand this. Men like referrals. The dating market has completely changed, and if you're finding yourself on a dating app, you're maybe not going to find what you're looking for. So let's go watch this video, and then we'll react to it. It's a pretty short video.
Okay, if you were a guy and you were going on a first date with a girl on these dating apps, Tinder, Bumble, whatever.
So first mistake is the odds are not in the man's favor on the dating apps, and a lot of good men aren't going to worry about that, right? So just and if this is your profile picture, well, honey, you ought to wear a shirt.
You need to be secure in yourself. A lot of us girls grew up watching Cinderella, and the prince didn't ask Cinderella, "Can I kiss you?"
Cinderella was wearing a shirt, by the way. And she wasn't on a dating app. She was, you know, locked away. And yeah, you're not Cinderella. Cinderella's wearing a shirt. Just saying.
At the end of the date, which means that you need to make a move, risk something, and just go and kiss the girl at the end of the date. Like, why is this lacking? It's like men are scared of girls.
So men aren't scared of girls. Men are. So what's a polite way to put this? You, my dear, are sending mixed signals. You know, you're giving off a certain image that is contrary to what you are asking for.
And it's so crazy to me, the fact that you can't even end the date with a goodnight kiss because you're scared. You have to ask permission.
So first off, if you're wearing this on a date, we're going to assume that you're looking for something other than a goodnight kiss. Okay. So let's break it down here. Okay. First off, women who present themselves like this are usually like the party types. They're looking for the Chad who's gonna, you know, bang him and go, or they're an OnlyFans girl and wanting you to sign up, or they're wanting a sugar daddy and they're expecting the guy to pull out their wallet. I'm not calling you a whore. I don't know who you are, but this is not what a nice girl wears on a date, and this is not how she presents herself. So I don't know if somebody put you up to this or if this is just a troll. Maybe this isn't a serious, you know, thing, right? But this is, you're sending the wrong signals. So, first off, where where should the overalls totally fine. We like overalls. We're not expecting you to wear a taxation as theft hat or, be holding a sandwich or carrying a shotgun. But you're dressing. It's like a job interview, okay? Dating's like a job interview. You are dressing for the job that you want to get, and right now you are dressed for a different job than a nice guy giving you a kiss at the end of the date. And so, the thing is, men want, men who are serious, right? Men who are serious and successful and are not just playboys, right? The kind that you're going to want to settle down with. We are looking for a woman who will be nice to us and not be a pain in the butt and not take us for, not take the kids and half everything we've earned, right? We are cautious in protecting our assets. Most of the girls that I've dated over the years, at least recently, were not from dating apps. They were usually somebody referred to me by a friend. Hey, Mark, you would probably really like this girl. Why don't you two, go have dinner, right? And or they were people that I was already friends with, and we knew each other from for a long time, either through gaming or through other things, and we just happened to both be single at the same time, and we decided to go out, right? But dating apps, and I've tried dating apps before, and the type of women I found on dating apps, especially the type of women who have profile pictures like this, usually are sending me links to their OnlyFans or sending me. They are not looking for their Prince Charming. They are looking for their sugar daddy, and that's guys don't want that. Nice, the nice, decent guys who will marry you and support you and take good care of you. They're not looking for this. Now, I'm not saying you don't dress sexy for him later, right? It's like I my girlfriend showed up to a date wearing a bikini. We'd been dating for a while and we were going swimming. So it was situationally appropriate. When you are sitting next to your bed in an overall with your tiggle bitties hanging out there, that's maybe like third, fourth date after you've known the guy for a while. And understand that guys are going to be super cautious right now because there is not a lot of reward for a lot of risk. And honey, you look like a high risk, low reward woman. Now you don't have like weird colored hair or like over amounts of makeup or anything. You don't have danger tattoos or any of that, right? I mean, if you were just wearing a shirt, you'd be perfectly presentable, and then suddenly you'd have like the tomboy thing going on with the overalls, and it would be totally cool, right? So because this is TikTok, I guess we could go, try to look her up. It's me, Court. You know, I don't know who that is, but I'm assuming that this probably isn't actually a serious video. But if it is, and I know there's a lot of girls out there, they're just confused. This isn't going to work, right? And I'm not saying you got to go to church and be barefoot and pregnant and have a sandwich. That's not really. I mean, the sandwich part actually, guys really like. If you were to walk up to a guy with like a dress nicely and hand him a sandwich, well, guys are a little paranoid. But if it's like somebody you knew, like if it was a girl that I knew, and she's like, "Hey, Mark, I made you the sandwich. Would you like to hang out?" That would totally work. That would totally work, right? Um, but the dating market's gotten pretty crazy. It's gotten pretty toxic. So this this doesn't work. Not right now. I mean, unless you're wanting to find the guy that slept with 200 women and you're just going to be another notch on his bedpost, this isn't going to get you what you're looking for. And then also the kiss on the first date thing, that's hard. I mean, if you know the guy and you guys get along really well, sure, maybe, but men are really cautious. And for good reason. We've just been, because if anything bad happens, here's the way the system works. If anything bad happens, and it's a he said she said situation, this whole believe all women thing, we already know that everybody's going to believe you and not us. So it's not worth the risk unless we really know you. And then, some high percentage of women are crazy and taking, psych meds. Some high percentage of men are too, by the way. I'm not saying it's all women's fault, but in a world where at least 25% of the people are bonkers, and it might be more than that. It's not worth the risk. So, like I said, most women are not worth the risk, the effort, or the aggravation. And so if you want the kiss at the end of the first date, then it's going to be somebody who we feel comfortable with. It's probably going to be like a referral. It's not going to be a girl on a dating app, because a lot of the girls on the dating apps and a lot of the guys on the dating apps are looking for hookups and not looking for an actual relationship. And that's just the world that we're in. And I'm not going to get into all the like home ass stuff where, girls are trying to, a girl who's a 5 is looking to date a 9. I'm just saying that if you're looking for a stable relationship, then this isn't how you're going to get there. And then also we want to look at the hot crazy matrix. If there's the most glorious video out there. I should probably find it actually. Let me see if I can pull this up. Hot crazy matrix. Let's see if I can go. Yeah. This is like the most important video that you should watch. Okay, I think this is the one. And we'll just quickly look at.
Hey everybody, James Yeager here with Tactical Response, and I got the Terry McClendon. I am the consigliere to the Cam. What are you going to talk about today? Today's lesson it's a little off the beaten path of tactical response, but it's still something that you can use every day. This is the hot crazy matrix. It's what you need to know about how to deal with women.
This is how guys look,
and how to.
This is how guys look at the situation. Okay.
Analyze the situation that you may be in or want to be in. Okay. Let's take a look at that right now. Okay, so this is the universal hot crazy matrix. It's everything a young man needs to know about women. I've developed this on my own over 46 years of living on the earth. So this is how it works. You have your crazy axis and your hot axis. Hot is, as usual, measured from 0 to 10. We're all familiar with that. Crazy is measured from 4 to 10 because, of course, there's no such thing as a woman who's not at least a 4 crazy. So you got 4 to 10.
And just going back here.
This is your hot.
Just going back here for a moment. This girl's hot, right? She's a good-looking girl, but like I said, the no shirt thing, you're sending the wrong signals. You're sending some crazy signals, okay? And guys are going to be especially cautious of that.
Crazy line right here. Very important that you keep in mind where the hot crazy line is. As a rule, this is your no-go zone. We do not hang around and date and marry women who are not, at least in our mind, a 5. So this is your no-go zone.
And this girl's at least a 5, right? I think most guys would agree. This girl's at least a 5, right? She's all right. Is she a 10? No, probably not. But she's definitely better than a 5. She did all right.
You don't go here. We just rule this out. Life is better this way. That's the way it is. All right. Above a 5 and to about an 8, and below the crazy line, this is your fun zone. You can hang out here and meet these girls and spend time with them. That's your fun zone. But keep in mind, when you're in the fun zone, you want to move out of the fun zone to a more permanent location. Okay, so that's the fun zone. Above a 5, hot. Below an 8, hot.
And this girl might be in the fun zone. We don't know, right? You know, she seems like a reasonable person the way that she's talking.
Below the crazy line. This means these are most of the time not crazy. Okay. Above the danger zone, above the crazy line, we have the danger zone. This is your redheads, your strippers, anyone named Tiffany.
And so here's where we have the problem. Okay. So this girl, because of how she's presenting herself, you know, she looks like she's in potentially the danger zone, right? And you can watch the rest of the video. It's a glorious video. Everybody should watch it. This is the problem that women are facing. You have to convince us that you are not in the danger zone, okay? Because men will casually hang out in the danger zone, and men might even, a lot of men will even sleep with somebody in the danger zone, but we won't get serious with you because it's not worth the risk. And all you're doing by presenting yourself like this is you are upping our risk without giving us any additional reward. We already know that you're pretty, but this isn't working, right? And thanks, Alpha. So the first thing that we're going to notice is your looks, but not the way that you think. Girls are thinking that, oh, I need to have the makeup and look sexy and this, and that, and the other, right? That's not what we're looking for. Guys want to know that you're not crazy and then you're not going to try and take all of our money. That's really the modern male mindset at this point, because we've just been screwed around with for too long. You know, we want to know that you're not going to falsely accuse us of stuff. We want to make sure that you're not going to just try and take us for all our money. Because any successful guy, look, if it's just some like poor dude who doesn't have anything to lose, he's going to go for it because he doesn't have anything to lose. But anybody successful, your Prince Charming that you want to date, who's sitting on 100,000, 200,000, $1 million, he is going to protect his assets first and foremost. And that's just how it is. Because the guy that you're looking for has other girls chasing after him too. And they're all just as hot as you are. And so this look here is not what he's going to be looking for. You know, it's, you know, send him a dank meme, you know, that actually works. You know, guys are really simple. We want a peaceful life with somebody who's going to care about us and be nice to us. And like all the girls I've ever dated had two things kind of in common, right? They're all really smart and interesting to talk to, and they're all really, really nice to me. And they didn't throw themselves at me, because once you're throwing yourself at a man, any decent man is going to get super suspicious. And if you're throwing yourself at a man and he's going for you, then either he's a player and he's going to bang you and dump you, or he's got nothing to lose anyway, and that's not the kind of guy you're looking for. So that's really kind of what it comes down to. So, hey, Vicious. Well, no, it's true. This is what it is. So anyway, I wanted to share this with you guys, and I fully recommend that you check out the Hot Crazy Matrix video. It is so worth it. I could do my own separate reaction video on that, but the reality is that men want to get serious with a girl who's going to be nice to them, who's not going to make their lives miserable, and that's like the most important thing. So, like, if you want to find a good guy, and it's hard because most of the good men are taken and most of the good women are taken, and everybody's kind of stuck with the leftovers, right? And so you need to become the kind of woman that the man you want wants to be with, right? And it's the same thing for men, by the way. Men, you want to become the man that the woman you want to be with is actually going to want to be with, right? So, earn some money, go to the gym, don't be crazy, be confident, right? She talks about confidence. The guys aren't kissing you because they're not confident. The guys aren't kissing you because they don't trust you. A confident guy is confident because he's had a series of successes in life, because confidence is built and earned. But trust is also built and earned. And good men want a woman they can trust first and foremost. I will date a 7 who I can trust and who's nice to me over a 10 who I can't trust. You could be a 10 and the nicest fucking person in the world, and if I can't trust you, you don't have a chance. Because guys are getting screwed over, and the court system disfavors men. Congratulations, all the feminists out there, but the court system doesn't favor us, right? In a divorce, and there's a lot of divorces, woman almost always gets the kids. They either get full custody or at best 50-50. And even if she, is nuts, unless she's like a crack addict, and even then, who knows, right? Men don't trust the court system, and men don't want to spend all their lives earning a few $100,000 or $1 million or whatever they earn and save aside, and then end up losing half the house and having to pay child support for the next 10 years for a kid they're not going to get to see. So if you want a good guy who will take care of you and be honorable towards you, you have to prove to them that you aren't crazy and that you can be trusted. And you have to be kind of nice to them. And that's basically it. So that's my dating advice for women. And maybe I'll do a dating advice for men sometime. And thanks for watching the video. Hope you like it. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time.